Alright, we're here with Arwen, Mortal Queen, doing about the same thing Heliod was doing. Someone in chat brought this card up at the end of my stream yesterday, so I'm going to try it here. We don't have a devotion requirement, and it's also still indestructible. I don't care about its stats in any way. That's kind of completely irrelevant. The rest of the text on it is kind of cool, but I don't care. You know, you move your stuff around to do stuff with things, whatever. You could probably do some 1/1 counter proliferate. I've seen that before, where you're spreading the stuff and then you're proliferating the stuff, but I don't. That's for losers. We're here to make this very giant and simple. So green, white comes with the Enchantress package, and all the auras are enchantments, so that's pretty cool. We can play one of the best cards in the game, right? Like this. I don't know if... This is one of the decks where if your deck influences your bracket in any significant way, then this will catapult us to probably a higher bracket, which is unfortunate. But if it doesn't, well, guess what? We were playing Arwen in the command zone. Someone recommended Danitha as an alternative, because Danitha cares about auras, but it's not indestructible or has Shroud. I mean, hexproof. So, like, no. But it's worth maybe trying in the main deck here. I'm just going to throw it in. Anything that cares about auras, you got your Calyx, your other Calyx, your Scythus, your whatever, the Oblivion Murder God, and all the things that do the same thing as Scythus, and whatnot. All the good green auras, all the good white auras, Pariah works. Just put it on your indestructible creature, and guess what? You can't take damage until they deal with it. It's the 2 mana, or the 2 card, you can't die from damage combo that I always play, like 9 life Solemnity. Spear gives lifelink, it's cheap. I don't really expect the bottom part to matter, but I like the rest of it. It's fine. It could just be an aura instead, but, you know, it's 1 mana, it's colorless. We'll see what happens. And that's about it. Let's play the game. Yeah, Walking Ballista. I was going to say I should have put it in Heliod because it goes infinite, but it's not in the game. Thought it was. Oh, hey, it's this card. Imagine I had this against a blue card player, enjoyer. Could you imagine I had the good cards against the good decks? Could you imagine? A pumpkin-flavored brown. That's a new one. This is an elf, so that's easy. Bloop. And then, do I play this first? No. What does this do? Nothing? You guys, you just need your eyes checked. It's alright. Everyone in chat just needs their eyes checked. It's clearly pumpkin orange. None of this brown stuff. Wow, look at that. A non-green Pantlaza opening. I don't think I've ever seen that ever. Like, literally in the history of cards. I don't think I've ever seen that. It looks red? You guys are weird. You just need a red reference. That's all. Like, there you go. This is red. Okay, you know, that actually looks a lot like my wall. Uh-oh. Maybe you're right. These are red, right? Yeah, these are red. Okay, when I put it in my afro, it's a lot easier to tell. Because then you can, like, discern it from the background. Yeah. So you guys just need a reference. This is orange. Orange. Let's see. It's the first sliver, so I'll keep this. Lose the game on turn 2 5 games in a row. Well, you gotta play a different format. That's all that means, right? You gotta play a different format. I just play historic best of one non-ranked when I have a quest I need to do for the day, and I don't care about the anything else. Alright, so we have the serious Spiral Out of Control quest. Not quest. Oh, whatever, never mind. We don't have it anymore. Opponent's dumb. And then you wonder why I want a 1-drop every game. Well, first sliver can't play counter spells, so... Alright, opponent did nothing. Interesting. Planeswalkers? I don't know. No, legitimate, full stop, unyielding slivers. Alright. Cool. So... this card... here. This card here. And I didn't find an untapped land. Tragic. And I can't swing. So now we need reach, or my opponent doesn't have like one of the flying enabling slivers or whatever. Slivers untap themselves. My opponent's playing Delighted Halfling. Okay. They blew up my thing that wins the game rapidly. Alright. Fair enough. So that... this... this... actually, no, yeah, we... hold on. Elf... I should have used that to pay for that, but I didn't. Let's go get our vigilance thing. So I can kill my opponent. Does Scuttling Sliver have a combo? Maybe. I wouldn't swing here because I have lifelink. It just bounces off. Yeah, that was maybe not the best attack there. Yeah, it's actual slivers, I know, isn't it crazy? it do be happening sometimes. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Alright, so we finally get to actually play this card. That's pretty cool. And I draw 4? Oh man, look at that. Yes. Alright, we finally played the card. That's right, you chump block. You spin your first sliver wheel into a sliver that probably doesn't save you. Oh, this is paradise. Evening. I think Arwen is just in a lower bracket. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Opponent gets and reanimate. Alright, cool. For something... no, there's no creature in the graveyard. Wow. There's no creature in my opponent's graveyard. It is lethal, but I can't brave the elements every color, so it's unfortunately not lethal. This would be nice, but I don't have any enchantments in my hand. And I already have SRAM, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I'm gonna just leave SRAM in my hand, because it really doesn't matter. And put my opponent in the abyss, until I find trample. My opponent has a lot of work to do to kill me with damage, so at this point it's very likely they need a non-combat based thing to happen. Chumping with the first sliver over and over is a good way to stay in the game, though. And they can do it basically forever. The circle animation on Arwen, that is the indestructible counter, I think. Pretty sure that's the indestructible counter. Alright, so I can make unblockable for 2 colors, but neither can be green or white, because then I'll lose my own auras. So that's not really getting me anywhere. Yeah, we're just looking for trample or something. There might not be a lot of cards left in my opponent's deck. They are playing kind of random stuff here that, like, actually stop this. And the first sliver can only cascade for, like, 4. It's not getting, something else. Alright, so that is a card that lets them start to dogpile me with slivers. Okay, it's not what we wanted, game. Not what we wanted. Any aura. There are 50 cards in my deck that are pretty good here, so surely we get one eventually. We're at 106 life. When was the last time I had over 100 life? I have no idea. Shield counter? No, I think... Oh, you're right. We did play Lion Umbra. You're right. Because it's the same text as that other one. The weird Colossus that puts a protection counter. It's the same animation as a protection counter. That's why I thought. But yeah. Makes sense. Alright. Well, my opponent found the out-of-nowhere craziness. This has to target Skrelv. Let's see if my opponent's paying attention. They are not paying attention. That needed to target Skrelv. Now I don't have to sack a land. Thoughtseize. This does not give me protection from face. They probably take SRAM here, which is unfortunate. But fortunately, it doesn't matter too much. I don't believe Brave the Elements does anything at this point, yeah. Funny enough, they still actually can't swing with, like, the best combat-oriented slivers in play. They still can't swing. Opponent actually swings. This has reach. This will not work. I will gain enough life to where this can't kill me. I'm not even sure what this attack is about. Why only swing with these two? If you're going to swing, you should probably swing with all of them. But then you don't want to swing with the ones that are giving you the good text in the first place. Yeah, I don't think there's an attack here. I don't think there's an attack here at all. This is an absolute stonewall. We've drawn a third of our lands. Still have 3/4 of our deck. Alright. Yep, that's about right. I would chump with Delighted Halfling. Yep. So you can still make food. I could have named green to make green like the unblockable color for the turn, but They just block with the first sliver, and then I don't actually do anything that way. They can recast the first sliver infinite with mana weft sliver. They just have infinite mana. Nope, you gotta target Skrelv if you're doing stuff. Don't do the Safekeeper again. Okay, they actually did it. I will defend it. I think it's just more than worth it, because my land isn't doing anything. Just more than worth it to negate my opponent's cards here. They can't block with the first... Oh yeah, if I name green. Yeah, you're right. So it would be forced to be the double strike, the flying, or one of these two, and probably those two repeatedly. Is that worth it? I might as well, right? I might as well. Okay, we actually drew something good. Yeah, I don't think I need Skrell's ability on backup here, so let's actually name green. Because the non-green cards are the ones I want to have die. Whoop, let's not do that. Yeah, we can chew through this. There's just some irrelevant ones in play that are unfortunately good at blocking, so. Yenna's a good card, though. I think I will play my land, because there's not much reason not to. I'm not really hiding anything from my opponent. Pretty straightforward what I'm doing. So... they're mousing over the enchantments. I don't like that. Banishing Light. I do not respond to it being cast. Targeting Lion Umbra. Alright, so we've lost reach here. There's nothing I can do about this, right? Nothing I can do about that. And they still have Vigilance to block, so now we take a bunch of damage. Yeah, that's annoying. I suppose because they did not take Sage's Reverber, I can copy that. Although Ancestral Mask copying that is also very good. I don't know, how much damage is this? Is it more damage than I'm swinging back with? Probably. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can copy this thing. This has to be the best idea here. And I can copy Rune to draw a card again? Hold on. So I can stack the top of my deck, although I would kind of like Sterling Grove to stay in play. Not gonna lie. Also, you know what? Just because they can swing doesn't mean they still can get away with not blocking. They still have to actually block. So let's... Oh, it just gave them Shroud. Alright, hold on. It's a good thing I can stack this. Alright, let's double up on Pariah, I guess. I don't know. Whoops. That's funny. That is funny. Alright, both those are fine. Almost Giga Blunder. Tap that. That and And this, because I want my lands untapped. Pariah this, so now all the damage gets sent there. Oh yeah, I should have got trample. I'm sorry, I got hung up on Pariah. I wanted to put Pariah in play, alright? I wanted to do the funny combo thing, alright? If it's between doing damage, lethal, or putting 9 life summoning in play, I'm going to go with the 9 life summoning. That's funny. Alright, yeah. We had a ton of outs, and we drew one with Yenna, which just catapults us way ahead. The Realm Walker didn't go crazy, and then we started to swing past green creatures. Alright, so they're not in the exile colors except maybe black, which is a positive. Bloop. Another thing about this deck is I don't feel like I need a 1-mana ramp spell every game. It's nice to have it, but I don't think I need it all the time. If I have it, I'm not allowed to complain. I mean, no, wait, we can still complain. My opponent did it first. Yeah. Opponent was on the play, so they're just categorically ahead. That's my logic. I'm gonna run this out here. I need another aura. Is this an enchantment? It is. Okay. Alright, opponent's doing some weird stuff over there. Some incredibly strange stuff, actually. Alright. So... Oh, this is modified. It is modified. I need triple green. Triple green for these two. Almost messed it up. My commander just shows up modified. That is actually insane. Wow. Love to see it. Oh man, this is so much better than Heliod. What were we doing yesterday? Where was I? The orange of my roof cube is lighter than my room. Pumpkin brown. Alright, my opponent... Oh, I thought I was playing against Corvold. Yeah, that's it, Corvold. I thought this was Corvold. My opponent gave Soul of Windgrace haste. Little weird. I feel like that's not necessary. Is there a reason to do that? Just to swing twice? Okay, well, this is indestructible, my friend. Oh, alright, they could just do that, sure. Okay. Interesting. Doesn't look too ideal there. Alright, that draw was also not too ideal. And I don't know if I'm playing... Really, you sacked your... Alright. Kinda weird. Why did my opponent do the things that they did? Sleeper? Black and red. Alright, red-based board white, please. Alright. On the play? No way. We're on the play! Opponent, that is not a fatal push. Nope, can't swing with that one. No, you can't swing with that. Alright, so... I think I'm playing Yenna here? I probably have time to just do some setup. I also probably didn't have to swing there in case Yenna died. Actually, what does this do when it hits you? Yeah, maybe that wasn't worth it. Looks like it paid off. Haha. Alright. Let's go get a plains. Ancestral Mask here. Copy said Ancestral Mask here. Both of these are hilarious. Alright. Yeah, that's I wonder if they can get rid of Reprobation in this deck. Probably not. Well, this is a turn late, but still gonna cast it. Should I deal with this immediately? Probably. Feels somewhat completely and utterly degenerate to let that not be dealt with immediately, but I think I have to deal with this. Just there's no doubt in my mind I have to deal with that. No doubt in my mind. That was a... Ooh, that is maybe so good that I shouldn't play it first. No, I'm gonna play it. You know what? Just to be more on curve and gives me more outs to a land, I'll play this first because I don't need it to resolve. I think that makes sense. Yeah, because Sithis is just way more important. Way more important. Okay. Okay. Do I even have a good enchantment to get? Probably just things my opponent must counter are good ideas, so I'll just grab that. Like, it's just another thing my opponent really doesn't want to have exist. There is a lot of flash in this deck. I say that as I only played one flash card. I actually only played one flash card. So now I wonder if I'm supposed to gear up the Gilded Goose? No, because I have Shadow Spear, maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, Indestructible is irrelevant. Maybe just because it can swing. I don't know, my opponent doesn't have a lot of cards in their hand. And not a lot of their cards probably add more damage to the board, so... And play Grazer? No, we just play that. And I can play Grazer just to block. I guess I will, right? Just to block. Because I don't want to block with Gilded Goose. I guess. Does the Immortal Sun matter? It draws 2 cards a turn. I guess it sort of matters. Alright, so we have a hexproof creature that will probably run away with the game, but we'll see. Opponent just straight up takes it. I highly doubt my opponent will do enough damage to kill me with these cards here. And I think we've turned it around. There's not a lot of things. Again, my opponent, like, they have a bunch of counter spells and stuff, so I don't expect the Liberator to, like, grow out of control. It's kind of like hard to ever make it larger than it is currently. Alright, so Pariah is something I don't care if it gets countered. So I'm going to cast that first. Ancestral Mask is basically a one-shot, so... I'm not going to take myself off of Snakeskin's Veil. Maybe it doesn't actually... Alright, that's another card. I think this is lethal. There is so little that matters at this point. I'm just going to cast it and see if I get lethal. I mean, at least chump block with the Gilded Goose and go up to a 78 quadrillion. Alright. Okay, so this was absolutely better than Heliod in every conceivable way. The green was excellent. Playing this on turn 2 is phenomenal with all the mana dorks and stuff. Protection spells are kind of wishy-washy. You, like, need them right away, otherwise they feel dead and useless. There were a lot of blue decks, like a lot of blue decks. Not a lot of white. We didn't see too much white. White comes with a lot of exile and, you know, reprobates and stuff. But blue comes with bounce spells, counter spells, and more reprobates, actually, frogifies. So blue was definitely very annoying, but on the bright side, that's normally not too big of a deal, I don't think. I think I just got a very disproportionate amount of blue opponents, and I did beat them. It's not like I just lost every time they had it. But because of that, I don't know if I like the Snakeskin Veil kind of protection spells. I know they do sort of work. You know, it's not like it doesn't avoid that stuff, but Brave the Elements giving straight up protection just knocks the auras off of your own cards, so you gotta be careful, but it knocks off, like, the Frogifies, and that is pretty impactful. Could probably turn Snakeskin Veil and the other ones into naturalize effects, like Wilt, right? Oh, it's a naturalize. Oh, I don't need it? You can cycle Wilt, and you just get rid of it. So I think, and it's not like blowing up other artifacts and enchantments is useless. There's still other things your opponents are doing that Wilt is worth blowing up. So I think those are actually just better than the 1-minute protection spells that don't give literal protection. They just didn't feel super exciting. Sometimes they worked, but for the most part, they really just didn't work. And I kind of had the same opinion of them in the Heliod version, and I don't think my opinion is any different with the ones in this deck. Now, Sylvan Safekeeper is a completely different story, because that one's just spammable. It protects itself. This is just ridiculous. So that one's just good. you play that turn 1, and then you're like, all right, your opponent can't play the game until they, kill that. Don't get crazy with it, though. I've seen people sack their own lands super early to this when I tried to, lightning bolt it, and then they lost because my 3 removal spells were just Stone Rains, and my opponent had no mana. So don't do that to yourself. Obviously. Or apparently not obviously. Pariah is useful and would have been excellent in a couple of those games, but again, Frogify was just left, right, and center, so it didn't end up being as egregious as it otherwise would have been. The Frogify decks also have bounce spells, like River's Rebuke and whatnot, but those are just good against everything. It's no different here. Yeah, that's it. I mean, creature-based combat, all the creature-based nonsense, this is just good against it, right? It's just, if your opponent is a red-white or like a red-black deck or something, they're probably just going to not deal with this, and you're just going to trample over them eventually. It is definitely slower than Calyx, leagues slower than Sithis, but you put this in the command zone, suddenly you're bracket 1, so that's up to you. I mean, yeah, every game where you have this, especially early, you're just playing essentially a goofy bracket 1 deck against like bracket 4 decks, right? You play this on turn 2, and then all your cards draw cards, you're just going to win like you were playing Sithis anyways. Right, this card is just egregious like that, so, and you can just skate around it by putting it in the actual deck. It's just nuts. All the goofy, well, I wouldn't say I'm goofy, but like the slow, grindy cards like Yenna and stuff didn't really do too much in a bunch of games, unfortunately. And I would say if you're trying to actually bludgeon your opponent to death quickly, this is not the strategy you should go with. But I will say it is probably one of the best Voltron commanders, in my opinion. Probably just indestructible on a card that you can put into play starting on turn 2 is very, very scary. Calyx, I remember playing this and I was just miserable because it wasn't indestructible. I think that was also in Standard. I think I played this in Standard before I played it in... I don't even know if I played this in Historic. I probably wouldn't. Have I? I can't remember now. Shoot. But either way, this against removal spam is a complete nightmare, right? You probably can't even play this on turn, like, with 3 mana on turn 2 or whatever. You, like, have to leave up a protection spell. You don't have to do that with this, right? But yeah, it's just probably a direct upgrade from the Heliod one, because you don't have to commit to Devotion, and... which means you have room for better cards, and you have another color, which allows you to play even better cards. So I'm a big fan of this. I think there were 39 lands again, and some MDFCs sprinkled in here and whatnot. And yep, that's it. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.